Welcome to this edition of the First Aid Show. We had an email in recently asking us what the healing process is once the skin gets cut. So we deal with first aid and we put a dressing on, and then what happens in the body and how does the blood flow stop? So what we're going to do now is have a look at this healing process. When the body is cut, the body starts to repair injuries within the first 24 hours, but it's between 48 and 72 hours and can be up to 21 days when the repair is fully carried out. The clotting mechanism in the blood seals the torn blood vessels so blood plasmas cannot escape into the tissues around the injury. This is important because the blood plasma is needed when moving nutrients around the body stream, and it's needed to transport white blood cells which fight infection around the injury so it can continue to be repaired. Blood clots form when the skin breaks, and the blood clots stop the bleeding. Healing happens in three different mechanisms. The first is vascular spasm. This is when the smooth muscles in the blood vessel wall contracts as soon as the vessel is broken. This slows the bleeding down while other mechanisms become active. The next mechanism is platelet plug formation. This is when the blood platelets become sticky and find a damaged vessel and form a type of plug to help close the gap in the broken blood vessel. However, this is only temporary and does not last, so the third mechanism is needed to stop the bleed completely. The third mechanism is coagulation. Once the blood comes to the surface and leaves the vessels, it thickens and becomes a texture similar to a gel. This is coagulation. Blood clotting is actually when the blood becomes solid. This happens when the temporary plug needs clotting factors from the blood. This forms a web of fibres and it becomes a clot. Fibrins are a mesh found in the blood, and they're a web of clotting factors including enzymes, calcium ions and platelets. Once this is formed, there are other cells such as white blood cells which fight infection, which reinforces the clot until it completely stops bleeding. As the healing process begins, the immediate effects on the injury start to feel better. The healing process is absorption of the swelling, removal of debris and blood clots. This is also known as the Pacman effect because of the way it actually removes the waste products. Growth of new blood capillaries to transport blood to the new area, and finally development of the initial fibrous scar tissues. After the first 12 hours since the injury and in the next 4 days, the cells become active and new capillaries and blood vessels form. They slowly grow and establish new blood circulation in the area. If this did not happen, then the injury would not heal because you must have a blood supply to repair the damaged tissues. As there is new circulation around the area, the blood supply can take away debris from the dead tissue cells, and the first blood clot that was formed is cleared. The tissue that was damaged gets repaired by the scar tissue, which is fibrous scar tissue that is around the injury, not the scars that you would see on the outside of the skin.